sort of getting back on its feet.
Yeah, Wally. I don't think I've seen it. It's a silent movie, isn't it? Um,
Oh, for big chunks of it, yeah, like the first third or so.
yeah.
There's yeah, sort of a silent movie days.
Yeah, break me off a bit of that Wally.
London after midnight.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, man, like they just get up to four and then they just stop. Got no idea what it is. But the other thing that gets me as well with games that are, like they get up to their fourth installment. Like the other thing to remember, like why didn't we get a Donkey Kong Country 4 in that classic sort of Rareware style? I mean, we did get Country Returns. Well, the simple fact is the SNES was just in its dying days, like the 64 just came out. Just, the time to do one. Like, I don't think there was a fourth installment of anything on a Super Nintendo. There probably hadn't been a fourth installment in anything full stop, as far as video games were concerned at the time. But then all this new tech started rolling out. We had the PlayStation and all that kind of thing. Like a 2D platformer is the least of your worries. Yeah, man. Fucking jack it up to 3D. um, it's like what we were talking about the other night, right? Like the Prison Break revival and like Heroes Reborn and all this kind of stuff. They come to the party 15 or so years late, and there's been a lot of shows in the interim that have come out. But these revivals look like they were filmed in 2007. Like they never really got with the times. I think that's another reason why we never got a Country 4.
Yeah.
Mm.
The sort of viewership and the way things were made it had evolved even after 10 or so years by the mid 2010s to mid 2000s. It evolved a lot, and tastes had changed. And also Prison Break in particular, that probably defied gravity for a year or two too long. I think it felt organic the first two seasons. They escaped, and of course there'd be a subsequent manhunt, which sort of powered through season two.
Yeah.
And that probably should have been the end of it. But I do have a soft spot for season three. I like that.
That was the one that got cucked by the writers' strike, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think in a weird way that helped it. A shorter, more concentrated, more focused narrative kind of helped that one.
I got to be honest, man. I think Manhunt ran out of steam well before the halfway point.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. Once you get back in the day, but I haven't revisited it in a long, long time.
Yeah, no worries, Matt. And catch you in a bit. Yeah, I did a rewatch of it. Oh, God, yeah, no, we'd be going on some years, maybe 5 or so years ago.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I'd ever seen season 4, because the gimmick of that, I don't know if you've got all the spoilers for it or whatever, but it's a break in season 4.
Yeah, okay. I watched 1 or 2 episodes, but it didn't really grab me.
Yeah, because like Whistler gets shot in the head like 5 seconds into the premiere. Like we just wasted I fucking hate shows that do that. Like we just wasted a whole season with this Muppet, the Aussie and Sonar, and then he just gets whacked.
Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons. I don't remember it, but that's probably one of the reasons I lost interest in it, because he had potential, that character. They could have done a lot with him.
And I didn't mind the actor. But yeah,
Whistler.
no, yeah, Whistler. Oh, I think it's James Whistler, I think.
Yeah, McFadden.
Yeah, you're McVie with the ambassador. I always loved that brief little snippet of Michael and Mahone eyeing each other up. When that guy comes along and just fucking outs him.
Yeah, Lachero. I'm amazed I still remember all this stuff, 20 years later.
Yeah, and what the guy who plays Sammy in Prison Break, Lechero's right hand man. Yeah, you out of your motherfucking mind, man. He gets around a bit, doesn't he? Actually, we might take the handgun for this because I don't want to go using too much shoddy. We're right at the arse end of this. Um, but we've got another monster that rocks up soon, the cockroaches. Um, and they're fucking annoying, so I want to conserve some shotgun shells for that. Any chance I get to not sort of, because I did go a bit ham with them on the last stream, I think. We got 17 shells. That's not too bad, but we might just keep a shoddy on us just in case. It's like that moment in Tropic Thunder. Yeah, well, he's cleaning a gun with no bullets in it. Do you remember that moment in Moving with Randy Quaid when they're backing out and they go driving off and he uses the rake as a gun?
Yeah, that's a movie with James Woods. I forget exactly the title of it, but no, that's a different one. That's Moving
Yeah,
with
that's
Richard
Moving with
Pryor.
Richard. That's what I just said. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but he was in another one, kind of a sinister one, kind of a similar plot to that one, with James Woods.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, I just misremembered for a second because the James Woods
yeah.
film it is a comedy, but it's a lot darker. Yeah, things take a more sinister turn in that. But yeah, the as they're driving away, and he starts laughing and using the rake as a shoddy.
Yeah, he eyes them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy Quaid. Yeah, all right, we might as well get rid of their bodies. This isn't going to be too much of a hassle. What about the crime scene in The Crow when the cop walks past? So who's this sack of shit?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that moment the other day. Yeah, so who's this sack of shit?
And he's got like the ciggy in the mouth, like
Yeah.
he's just gets the Zippo lighter out. So who's this sack of shit? Yeah, that line lives in my head all the time. I mean, if I was a cop, that's the sort of thing I'd be saying at a roped off scene. I mean, you're the one getting blown by a grieving relative, not 10 feet from the body. It's been quite a minute since I've seen that. Oh, yeah, that special edition DVD of The Crow, the one with the white um, sort of overlay over everything. Was there much even added into that?
No, not really. In when all's said and done,
Yeah, I didn't
um,
think there was much
there's
more in it. Yeah.
yeah one or two snippets of it, but probably not enough. If you already own a copy of that film, it's not enough to drop everything and get an upgrade. Uh, there was a few little extras, but nothing major. It's like special editions and collector's editions of movies like that will always be tricky because maybe out of respect to Brandon Lee, they don't really want to sort of talk about it or anything like that. I think is the reason why. Um, so yeah, things like that will always be tricky, um, just because of what happened.
Yeah, because I think the Blu-ray was another one as well that was, I think it was, when all was said and done with it, it was what, just sort of a reprint of just the original DVD, I think. I don't think that added anything
Yeah,
to it.
it
Like,
can be hard to tell sometimes. I've been investigating getting a copy of The Crucible, and it's quite peculiar. Not all the special features are listed on the cover, on the back cover. I want the version, which I think was only the US version. I want the commentary by Arthur Miller and the director. Arthur
yeah.
Miller wrote the original play, but it's not printed on the back. It's very peculiar. It's so I spent a little bit of time this week reading reviews of that particular version just to make sure that the commentary, the reason I'm buying it for is on it, because I don't believe it was on the Region 4 version. And when they upgraded it to Blu-ray, they jettisoned that commentary. That commentary is only available on that specific version of the DVD release. So,
God, that shits me when they do that. Like when they get around to doing a release, they take out
yeah,
one of
they remove stuff.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
understand why. Like I don't know. Maybe someone along the line changed. Like that, like they didn't want to be a part of it, so you have to remove their audio track or something. I don't know.
yeah, it's hard to know why they do it. It's yeah, well, it's quite a peculiar story all around. One, to not have it on the description on the back cover. Um, like the only times you'd not do that is if it was an Easter egg, but it's not an Easter egg. It's a fairly, you just go in and switch it on to listen to it. Um, but yeah, I might even order one tonight while I'm talking to you. I think I know the one I want, and it's in Australia. So um, I was also really amazed that they're making another Fokker movie.
Oh, really? A fourth one?
Yeah,
Well, we've been talking about fourth installments a lot tonight, so yeah, all right, fair enough.
yeah, it's called Godfucker, and it's filming now. And yeah, they're all back. De Niro and Stiller and Terry Polo and Blythe Danner. Like, what an
I
amazing
I gotta be
sort of
honest.
run that's had.
Yeah, I know it's a quarter, a quarter of a century since the
Yeah,
first movie.
unbelievable.
25. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was 2000, right on the dot. I think the first one.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, but you know what? Like at this day and age, like I used to go through the whole, oh, why are they doing a sequel to this? I've totally flipped on that now. I reckon like everyone who's alive, just bring them back.
Yeah, Meet the Parents. It's still such a go-to movie for me. I've probably watched it half a dozen times
Can
this
I
year.
can I just say that my favorite character in all of those movies is Pam. Uh, Mainly because I love the look on Terry Polo's face. Um, Whenever some really cringy shit happens, like when they're at the dinner in the first movie, and Greg is talking about the milking of the cat, and then he's doing the hand shit, and then you get that like a good 3 or 4 seconds just on her face. She's like jaw drop, just staring at him like, like this is actually happening.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. It's and even the running gag, it just cracks me up. He has to wear his clothes the whole weekend. It's just so funny.
I love the embroidered pajamas that have
Yeah,
JB on
yeah,
them. Oh, and who could forget that? There's only one way to make Mr. Winky go away. Dun 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 dun, and there it is. Yeah, you got to keep the snake in its cage for 72 hours. Um, but yeah, like James Reborn as the wanker in law. I mean,
yeah. I
like
love that
when
too.
you think about that, and I mean, you can never go wrong with what's his name, John Abraham's Bobby and Scary Movie. Um,
Yeah,
Danny, I tell you, if there was ever a bloke that always bothered me that never made it big, that should have really punched through was him because he is one funny bastard.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Everyone just was terrific in it. Yeah, and just all the little details, like like even in the final scene, they get married with the at the burnt altar. Like they kept it there. That was funny.
Yeah, and they ran the fake vines around it to sort of cover it up.
Yeah. I was sad to read that the actress who played Debbie died.
Oh shit, eh?
Yeah, and she died not long after that, around '05 or '06. Pneumonia or something. I was reading because because yeah, like I said, I was surprised to hear that they're gearing up for another one. So I was just sort of checking through the cast to see who was returning, and
I
it
don't
was
I
it's
don't
the
even think I don't even think Debbie is even mentioned in the second or third. Oh, maybe in the third one. It's been a while since I've seen Little Fuckers. I actually didn't mind that one. I thought that one was pretty good.
Yeah, I remember not minding it either. But yeah, I've only seen it the once.
Have you ever seen that Deadpool? Um, the 2016 one, I think, the first one.
Uh, just the start of it. The only one I've watched all the way through from beginning to end is the second one.
Yeah, all right. Um, oh yeah, no, just that Metin in the chat here. Do a video talk about Deadpool movie and how it is. I haven't seen any of them, to be honest.
Yeah, we
Um,
could give it a shot. I, um, yeah, I think I've seen the first half an hour of Deadpool 1, and I saw Deadpool 2 at the cinema because I was excited to see, like, Cable, who's a favorite character of mine in live action. Um, and it was entertaining, yeah, but they sort of exist on a different level to the sort of mainstream superhero fare. And I haven't seen number 3 yet with Wolverine in it.
I suppose if you take it at that, they're pretty accessible then. Like, I mean, like they are sort of under that umbrella, but you don't have to. I think the reason why I've always had a bit of a disconnect with Deadpool was that by the time he blew up and everyone was talking about him, I mean, I was kind of at that age where comics were sort of on the back burner.
Yeah,
Because he really had a spike in popularity when that first Ultimate Alliance game came out.
yeah,
And that was my first sort of exposure to him.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember reading he had a couple of limited series comic books in the 1990s, and then he was given an ongoing one that Joe Kelly wrote and Ed McGuinness illustrated. I didn't read the entire run. I read the beginning of it. That was sort of my sort of first real exposure to the character because I wasn't reading the X books when he made his debut. So he made his debut in a book called The New Mutants, and that was rebranded um, as X Force.
Okay.
Sort of a short while later, yeah. So tonally and thematically, they wanted so X Force is the team that sort of actively seeks out threats. They're not the X-Men that just sort of wait around until Magneto attacks and they go stop him. The X Force go looking for problems, and um, and you can see that in the two leaders. You got Xavier, who sort of wears the suit and tie and is a bit more placid, and you got Cable, who's the leader of X Force, like this futuristic, militaristic hard ass. They wanted a man of action.
But the whole breaking the fourth wall character trait that Deadpool has, like that wasn't always a staple, was it? Like that was added in later, wasn't it?
It's yeah, I don't remember yet, and again, I'm only sort of drawing from that Joe Kelly run. It was there a little bit, but it's certainly exploded the whole fourth wall breaking um, thing that he has going now. He would occasionally sort of reference the fact that he's in a comic book, but I don't. But there was some sort of real sort of drama in that book, and there was some real meaningful character work in it. It wasn't just you know just constant one-liners and jokes all the way through. I don't remember it being that anyway. Like it was there, like occasionally, but yeah, I guess any random Deadpool in any medium now will have him like constantly, consistently breaking the fourth wall and other things like that. I quite like the character because he's in the sense that like he's really punched through and
Yeah.
and yeah, people of all ages. He just seems to have a really devoted fan base and you can't fluke a trilogy. If he was no good, his films wouldn't do well. And it's the perfect casting with Ryan Reynolds, who really loves the character, and he never really gave up on the character. The take on it in X-Men Origins Wolverine was critically panned by everyone, but he sort of still clung onto the character, hoping that he would get a more faithful take, and he finally got it.
Didn't that version rock up in one of the Deadpool movies?
Yeah, he has the power to travel through time or something. I think it's in the second one where he goes back and
And he
shoots.
he sees his X-Men Origins
Yeah.
take. Yeah.
And there's a scene where Ryan Reynolds himself is sitting down to read the Green Lantern 2011 script, and Deadpool shoots him in the back of the head.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he was Hal Jordan as well. It's interesting how the big two sort of wanted Ryan for something.
Yeah, it's a shame the Green Lantern movie didn't do well. It's not very good. I was really excited and looking forward to it, but yeah, they dropped the ball on that one. And I was expecting more. It was directed by Martin Campbell, who's got a good pedigree. But yeah, it just never landed, unfortunately. But I do have a bit more hope. I think they're under James Gunn's stewardship. They're prepping a mini series for HBO, so the Green Lanterns will return at some point. But yeah, I didn't mind Deadpool. Deadpool 2. It's like if a movie's job is to be entertaining, it does that in spades. Because there are some genuinely surprising moments. There's a scene where this big containment prison thing is dropping from the sky, and Deadpool and his team are sort of converging on it, and you genuinely don't know who's in it. And when it just erupts and explodes and who bursts out, I was really surprised. I was not expecting that character at all. It was great. And the the Deadpool's version of Colossus is probably, the most famous rendition of it now, where he's got the real thick, heavy accent, and that sort of stuff. So um, yeah, I didn't mind it. And I've seen a couple of clips of the third one, but I will have to sit down and watch it from beginning to end before too long. I've
Yeah.
only, but I'm just so busy these days. It's taken me until 2025 to watch the Venom movies, and they came out, in 2018.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. I fucking exit Steam and I closed the game down. I'll fire it back up. God, I fucked myself over there. I fucked it right.
How did
Um,
you manage that?
oh, because the Steam client runs in the background and I closed it down. But you can't have the game running at the same time. Fucking annoying. That's how they get you. Alright. No, I won't say. I didn't really advance too far into it, although I did get lucky with that headshot just before. Am I going to have that luck going in there again? Probably not. Um,
Feeling better? Then get the fuck back out there.
yeah, I love that fucking line. And I think we might have even talked a little bit about the Deadpool movies when we did do our discussion on X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, quite possibly. That was a while ago now, but yeah,
Oh.
no doubt we would have touched on
I
Deadpool
think I
Remake.
might have said something like, "This is my Deadpool," just to sort of rile everyone up. Uh, but like it's like what I was saying, before, right? Like my first exposure to Deadpool was in the hugest, biggest Marvel game that had ever come out at that point,
Yeah,
and that was the first Ultimate Alliance game. Uh,
yeah,
and then on that, by that same token, a lot of people's first, like I would argue that the bulk of Deadpool fans now, their first exposure to him would have been the 2016 movie.
yeah. I'd have to agree. Yeah, I mean, the true reach of a film is yeah, it just sort of dwarfs everything else. I think because yeah, I definitely before the comic shop in town closed down, um, yeah, you would have sort of randoms walking in, normally children and with their parents, and the books they wanted had Deadpool, like they wanted Deadpool. I'm trying to think. I know it's a superhero, but are those some of the content in that movie is probably not aimed at a 5-year-old, but what the heck, anything that gets
Well, see, this is
sort
the
of kids
thing.
reading.
This is the thing that I love the most when they're like, oh, it's not really appropriate for kids. Are we seriously going to pretend like we gave a fuck about what was appropriate when we were kids? Like, are we really going to be that hypocritical now? It's like
Well,
I'll never scream at my nephew for playing something as dumb as Conker's Bad Fur Day because I
um,
did that when I was a kid. You know?
yeah. What about what the Juggernaut says to Colossus? I'm gonna melt you down and make a cock ring out of you.
I think you told me that line when you first saw it. Yeah, I'm going to turn you into a cock ring. Oh, that is fucking gold.
Yeah, I need to make a mental note and watch The Dark Phoenix. Greg Hatcher um, was a big fan of that movie. He thought it was a really good adaptation. Um,
Is that Sophie Turner one?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
I
okay.
think it's the third or fourth one in the sort of first class kind of series timeline. Um, but yeah, I mean, because I really enjoyed Hatcher's columns before he passed. So if it was good enough for him, it's good enough for me. I'll have to make a mental note to sit down and give it a proper watch.
I think I do have it um, downloaded somewhere. I don't know if I ever got around to it or not because, like, I think I asked on the last stream that we were talking a couple of weeks ago, was the Dark Phoenix saga really all the hoo-ha that everyone thinks that it was? Because I've never read it, but everyone just seems to sort of leaning into it all the time and that kind of thing. I'm like, well, they've tried to adapt this thing a couple of times now, and it's maybe it's one we kind of let go. But that's just me. But I'm someone who hasn't read it.
Yeah, I found my hardcover of it. I'll have to, yeah, give it a proper reread. I was looking for something else, and I indirectly found it, but I kept it out and didn't file it back away.
Yeah, because
But
then it's
yeah,
going to
it's
be a fight to get
beautiful.
it again.
Yeah, that's right. I get the urge to read something, and it's not as simple for me as just sort of walking up to a bookshelf. It's a bit of a rabbit warren I've got to go down.
Yeah, see, that's why I can never go through my archives, because whenever I do, I end up finding something I wasn't looking for that's totally unrelated on a completely different matter, and then that'll be my whole weekend will sink into the thing that I had no interest in, and now I'm all about. So, like,
Yeah,
my plans often get thrown completely out the fucking window when it comes to things like that. I probably should sit down and read it. Like, I've been meaning to go through the Clone Saga again. Like, I don't mind dumb shit like the Spider-Man Clone Saga from time to time. Um, like that one, like, I think I've only read that one from start to finish, I think once.
yeah,
And that was a while ago. Like, I think I was still wearing a school uniform the last time I read that. Like Return of like Reign of the Superman and all of that. Like a lot of that's still pretty fresh. But there's a few Marvel collections I'd like to read again.
yeah,
Like I would like to do the Onslaught saga again.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Well, the good news is they're all um, relatively new printings. Marvel only a year or two ago did hardcover omnibuses of the entire Clone Saga from the 1990s. So, and that's what sort of makes me think like they wouldn't do it if it wasn't popular. Like I said,
yeah,
starting with
like every time I say I like Onslaught from X-Men, and everyone's like, "Oh, why are you reading that shit?" Like, fuck you. It's all right. I like it. um,
yeah, you hang out on Reddit all day. You forget it's just not the reality. Marvel wouldn't keep these things in print, and it's only a couple of years removed from their, you know, complete epic collections that they did of the same story. Like they wouldn't keep them in print if they weren't selling somehow.
like, yeah,
It's just always
and the other
it's always
thing,
funny to me that
the,
how that keeps happening.
the other thing that really cracked me up with people giving me shit about liking Onslaught is it true that X Men '97 animated series is gearing up to have Onslaught as the main villain.
Oh, that'd be cool if it was. Yeah, I'm not sure. I have it. I have a copy of it, but I haven't watched season one yet. X-Men
Because I
'97.
saw that Onslaught was like trending for me, and I'm like, look, everyone who was giving me shit about liking Onslaught, if this is true, that they've made him the villain in like the most watched X-Men shows pretty much since the '90s series, yeah, I accept all of your apologies. Um, fuck yous all because yeah, I've always liked Onslaught. I don't know why, like what it is though that I don't that boils their piss so much that they don't like him. Is it because he looks like a Magneto knockoff? I don't know why. I next to never get a good reason as to why they don't like him, apart from I just don't like him.
Yeah, I think it stems from so Onslaught was a culmination of a years long kind of subplot about a traitor, the X traitor amongst the X-Men, and there were and they I don't think Marvel had decided on who that was going to be. There was some evidence and clues pointing towards Gambit and I think maybe Bishop or someone. Oh, actually, that's what Bishop was sent back for to find this traitor. And then Marvel stumbled upon the idea. Well, the most shocking revelation of all. What if it was Xavier himself? And they kind of rooted Onslaught's um, origin into the events of the Fatal Attraction story, where Magneto leeches the metal off Wolverine's skeleton. So immediately after that happens, Xavier mind wipes Magneto as revenge for doing that to Logan. But by mind wiping him, like a dark sliver of Magneto's psyche was imprinted onto Xavier, which was the sort of seed of Onslaught. So I think fans were unhappy. Like it's a shocking revelation that Xavier was the traitor, but
It's a bit of
they
a cop out to have
it
an
is.
external
Yeah,
force do it. Yeah, I
yeah.
can understand the frustration there because
I,
it's like
I,
that's up there with give it to me. No, no, wait.
yeah, yeah. I think Mark Millar or someone, I can't remember who said it. That's like saying that the reason Hannibal Lecter ate people was because the mind of a good man was imprinted with the shark of Jaws.
Yeah, that's a good analogy because when you say it out loud like that, you quickly realize just how dumb it really
Yeah,
is.
I didn't mind it in theory because it gave the books a sense of weight of history. Like actions had consequences, and that's those two storylines were like 5 or 6 years apart.
I'd
And I
love to
did
be a
like
movie actor, but who'd watch shit that I'm in?
there
Yeah,
was
mate.
yeah, and I did like the Magneto clone, the younger clone Joseph. I'm not sure what happened to him. So he was, I thought he had potential as well. But yeah, it was yeah, so that was sort of the kickoff to the Onslaught um saga, and it coincided with the the Image founders. Actually, two of them, Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee, coming back to work for Marvel on a project called Heroes Reborn. So in the aftermath of the final battle with Onslaught, the Avengers and the Fantastic Four are seemingly killed, but as it turns out, they've been shuttled off into a pocket dimension where the and their books for a year were produced by the Image guys, while Jim Lee's company Wildstorm did the Fantastic Four and Iron Man, and Rob Liefeld's Extreme Studios did Avengers and Captain America for a year, and then they had the Heroes Return uh, miniseries event, which yeah, finally after a year or two, they brought all the heroes back into the proper mainstream Marvel universe.
Hannibal Lecter's mind was infused with the shark from Jaws.
Yeah, I remember reading a comment or a quote like that in a Wizard magazine. They were doing like a 10th anniversary special of the Onslaught story. And Mark Wade, the writer, was really unhappy. He was on one of the books at the time, I think. Like he was all for making Xavier the villain, but like he remembers distinctly, I didn't want Magneto to have anything to do with it. Um, and I think that's why Onslaught's armor looks the way it does. It's just that sort of subtle, sort of mind psychological imprint that's buried deep in Xavier's subconscious that kind of manifested itself.
But I always thought when they cracked it open, um, wasn't it the Summers kid that was meant to fall out of it?
Oh, yeah, I can't really remember.
Or was it Franklin Richards? I can't remember, but someone, like some kid was meant to fall out of it.
Franklin Richards has a pivotal role in the story, but it could be much like the mastermind of the Clone Saga. They probably went through a few different ideas before settling on one. And I think as the story went on, Onslaught sort of broke off from Xavier's psyche and became its own kind of malevolent entity, where it can operate independently from Xavier. I think from memory as the story went on.
Yeah, I screw around on Discord from time to time. It's alright, I think I got the swing of things now. I gotta be honest, like that's pretty awesome to mind wipe Magneto. Maybe they should have just stuck with that. But the thing is though, like as big as the issue actually is, like all of it will have to be put back into its proper place eventually. I reckon they probably should have just stuck with it. But as far as Onslaught goes as a villain, and things like that, yeah, like I just think he looks fucking awesome. Like Magneto's I love the purple and the red, and then you have a jacked up version of that. It's just more of what I love. So yeah, I really like Onslaught's look.
Yeah, well, I think these days, not that I'm a regular reader these days, but back in the day, they were more patient to let huge moments sort of settle for a bit. Because these stories happened without any social media and that instantaneous fan reaction and engagement. Like when Wolverine lost his adamantium, which was around 91 or 92, he didn't get it back until 1999.
Yeah, it was like a decade with the bone claws.
He had the bone claws for years. But that wouldn't sort of happen these days. They'd probably wait a year or two at most before putting it back.
Yeah.
Putting all the toys back in the sandbox, yeah. Whereas before, it's like and people kind of laugh at me. I own a toy of the Blue Energy Superman because I love the idea that everyone hated it, but it took DC and Warner Brothers a while for that feedback to get them. Like, because back in the day, you had to write fan mail and fan letters. You couldn't just fucking whinge and bitch on a message board or on Reddit. And in the interim, while they think they're doing good, they thought, well, let's break him apart and have a Red Energy one. So there's two of them. So not only are we not going to give fans what they
doubled down on it and had another one just to really piss them off.
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love that shit.
Well, they wouldn't release toys of the Red and Blue Energy Supermans, like, just to go back to your point, if it wasn't working more than it was, like, if it wasn't helping more than it was hurting, like...
Yeah, I think, it's had a couple of them, because there was some action figures produced back in the day that tied in with the Justice League comic, because when Grant Morrison relaunched the JLA, it was with the Blue Energy Superman in some of the early stories, and I think he had some action figures there. But yeah, I just found the whole thing really fascinating because you couldn't really. It would take a month or two at least before some fan reaction to roll in, and social media and the internet has kind of ruined it today because people love to whinge more than they love to talk about things they like.
Not to mention, like even adding something of substance, like it's okay to talk about things that you don't like, but fuck, man, Like, there's next to nothing constructive in what they're saying at all. Like, I remember Terradome said once about people that were saying Jurassic World Rebirth was shit. Are you going to give us some examples why you don't like it, or are you just going to fill up the internet with more hyperbolic nonsense? Um,
Yeah, but I also think a lot of companies don't have the nerve and patience to sort of absorb it. I think, people who are whinging and bitching about something today are generally the sort of people that will be whinging and bitching about something completely different tomorrow. Um, so,
it was like when they were all going rank that Hasbro bent the knee on the Studio Series '07 Barricade. It doesn't have that the decal of "to punish and enslave" on it because it was too offensive or whatever. But I'm like, yeah, but Hasbro do that shit all the time, and then like in another 5 years they'll add it back in quietly. Like they've done this all the time. Like nothing's changed. They would have had some squawk box giving them shit about having something like that on a toy. They'll bend the knee and then they'll just put it right back on when people stop talking about it.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
just quietly reintroduce it.
yeah. Actually, just on that real quick, ever dream you were in a cartoon show or in a movies? Actually, it's something that I think about a little bit, and that is if I was in a cartoon world, what world would I like to be in? Um, I often think maybe The Simpsons sometimes, but then I'm very quick to take that off the table because death is still possible in that world. Um, Maybe something I don't know, man. It'd probably be. I wouldn't mind being trapped in Mega City. No, in Mega Cat City from SWAT Cats. That'd be pretty cool.
Like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit thing.
Yeah,
But
what? Like if there was a cartoon world you could be in, like what cartoon world would it be? Um, I mean, you get your Flintstones and your George Jetsons, but I don't know. Mega Cat City. I don't know, something just, I mean, because you have a time traveling wizard there, then you got giant kaijus and all sorts. You got the enforcers with Commander Feral. I don't know. That one seems to be the one that I'd like to be in.
yeah,
What the fuck am I supposed to be doing again? Oh, that's right, the MO machines. I need to go and get the disc back, and then we can blow up this thing. Was there any more movement on that Jetsons movie?
no, not so far. There was that report a couple of weeks ago that they were sort of circling Jim Carrey for George Jetson, but I haven't heard anything too much since then. The bit of casting, I don't know if this was common knowledge or not, but some more cast have been announced for the new Highlander. Russell Crowe is playing Ramirez.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, not too bad, I suppose. I think he'll do a good job. I think Dave Bautista is the Kurgan. A little red lights going off there. Feels a little bit lazy to me. Um, but I did really enjoy Dave Bautista's character and performance in that Jason Momoa show C. He was in season two of that, and he was really good.
I really liked him in that M. Night Shyamalan movie as well. I can never remember the name of it, the cabin and it's the end of the world and all this shit.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
Rupert Grint's in it as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one I actually did because he has got some acting chops, but I don't know. Because like it's similar to when people were talking about Skeletor being Jared Leto in the new Masters of the Universe film, and they were talking about that. Like I'm glad that it's not something like fucking Bill Skarsgård. Like
Yeah,
let's just say that. Like I'd much rather have Jared Leto take a complete swing and a fucking miss
yeah,
at Skeletor than fucking Bill Skarsgård doing
yeah.
his
That's right.
Pennywise thing. So I'm glad that we're getting that. Like I reckon that's only a win. But yeah, I
Yeah,
can
he's either
understand
going
the
to get it.
frustration. Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get it really right or really wrong, Jared Leto.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And if he does get it wrong, I'll just think about what Forrest Whitaker says in the panic room. And a fuck up like you has got to be getting less than everyone else. But yeah, because if and then someone's like, "Oh yeah, well Bill Skarsgård's the better actor." I sit back and I'm like, "Is he?"
Yeah,
Um, because from as far as what I can see, he did an all right Pennywise, and everything else has been normal. Um,
yeah, Bill Skarsgård.
yeah, but I was just, I mean, because that like you could just tell, like I'd be absolutely stunned if that wasn't in the cards at some point as Skeletor. They were just going to go with him because why not? Just just
Yeah,
just do your Pennywise thing, because Skeletors lately have been really really shit. Like that Mark Hamill take where he's just doing his Joker thing. Like, I mean,
yeah,
man, like, why? And, like, I get it, Kev Smith's writing it and all this sort of shit, and, they're mates, and I get all of that, but there's literally no personality whatsoever in Mark Hamill's take on Skeletor.
yeah. I'd have to yeah. Well, by the time the next film comes out, I should be up to date on all things He-Man.
Yeah. I never saw that Masters of the Universe.
The well, yeah, it's another thing as well because, like in the interim, there's been three or four series, um, in the last probably 5 or 6 years. So yeah, it's sort of hard to sort of keep them straight.
Um, yeah, see, the Michael Bay coming back to Transformers, that's been rocking up on my radar ever since you mentioned that. What, like almost a month ago. To be honest with you, I hope that it is true. And the funny thing about that is everyone's like, "Oh yeah, well, what do you want Michael Bay to come back?" Um, it seems like a lot of people really do um, want him back. Um, because it's funny because like the more Transformers has lent into doing G1 and faithful designs and all this kind of shit, the more underperforming they've become. Um,
And that's really interesting, isn't it?
it, it,
Isn't that a
it
really interesting phenomenon that's happening in that world?
like the numbers don't lie, man. Like you look at the designs of the characters in that Transformers 1, they step right out of G1. Like they're basically what Paramount told Michael Bay not to do back in '07. And it's like the worst performing Transformers movie that they've done. Like there's a trend there. Like the more
Yeah,
that they've
but
done
that's
it, the worse that it's done. Um,
yeah, it's interesting that phenomenon that's happening there because since Bay stepped aside, although he still continues to produce them or help produce them, um, you've had Bumblebee, Rise of the Beasts. Was Bumblebee a sequel? Did it? I don't know. I can't remember. And
uh,
then you've had Transformers 1,
yeah,
and they've all been more critically well received by fans and sort of mainstream critics, but they haven't generated the money that Bay's films have. They haven't been as successful. Whereas Michael Bay's films have just been panned right across the board, and they just fucking mopped it up. It's a very interesting phenomenon that's happening there. Maybe the key is to meet somewhere in the middle. Um, Maybe that's the key. They keep swinging from one direction to the other, one extreme to the other. Because I sort of, and it's hard because you go into Transformers fandoms, and Transformers 1 is a fucking holy relic. They won't hear a bad word about it, but to me, it was just bland. Yeah. I mean, it was well told, it was slickly executed, but it was bland. I think Rise of the Beast had some problems as well, but overall, it was enjoyable. But yeah, I definitely think they're missing something that Bay brought to the table. And I think with Bay's films, the brand sort of felt sort of really fresh and dynamic, and I'm not really getting that sense anymore. Like, the movie Optimus Prime looked very different to the cartoon or the
Mm.
comic or the toy, but you could tell it was him, you know. Like, I dare anyone who would never lay his eyes on the Bayverse version of Optimus take one look at him and not know who you're looking at. So
Yeah.
you can have a different design and still retain the spirit and look of the character, and they've done it. But I think maybe they need to do to get back to that, like Jazz. You can tell you're looking at Jazz.
Yeah, because he
Um,
still has the visor and the
yeah,
ear flip things up. Like, yeah. See, and I think another thing that really sort of really didn't do them favors is that the Michael Bay movies had a very distinct look to them with that design for the Transformers, and that when you remove that, you've basically robbed what people identify as a live action Transformers movie. Like you've taken away the familiar for the nostalgic.
yeah,
Is what's going on there, and I think a lot of people will turn off from it because, like, when you've got Transformers that look like they stepped out of a cartoon from 40 years ago,
yeah.
I don't think there's many people that are going to warm up to that. Like, especially if one of the later Michael Bay films was one of the ones that they saw first. You know?
Yeah, it's a great point because they looked and felt so fluid. Like, I'd never seen the characters move like that, and I've been a Transformers fan pretty much since day one. Like, I've never seen them sort of somersault and roll and swerve and dodge, and like they just look so dynamic and agile.
Not to mention their hand-to-hand combat just looks so fucking badass
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
Michael Bay films.
it was just a true mechanical biology. You truly got the sense that they were alive, and they were almost like organic beings. They kept coming back to that concept of a mechanical biology, and it really shined. The fight with Optimus and um, fuck, who was it?
Oh, the fight
Boss.
with Optimus and Bone Crusher near the freeway was
Yeah,
awesome when they
yeah,
start just scrapping each other.
yeah.
Um,
You'd never seen that before, and that's what turbocharged the brand as well. You'd never seen it anything like it, which was the end of a sort of long curve that had begun with Beast Wars. Like, Beast Wars radically redesigned the look of the Transformers. They never looked like that before, and that upswing just kept going. 10 years later with their first movie. So yeah, I think they've sort of lost their way a little bit. Hopefully they can get it back. Because yeah, because people will say that the brand's going gangbusters, and they could be right, but I do see a few little blind spots there that, unless they keep an eye on them, could grow and start to hurt the brand.
remember, Transformers One failed due to lack of marketing.
Which is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. But
Yeah,
but,
I've
but that's the thing,
that's been rocking
that
up on my feed quite a bit lately. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean lack of marketing? What nonsense? What kind of bullshit is that?
yeah, that's the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. Well, it could not have been more heavily marketed. It could not have. They gave that a huge fucking marketing push. And Transformers fans will, on their Reddit, will say with a straight face that that was the reason the movie failed. It's just this totally awesome movie that no one saw.
Yeah, it was all Paramount's fault due to a lack of marketing. Like,
Yeah.
fucking all right,
And I
whatever.
think
The idea that it just wasn't like it wasn't in season or anything like that.
yeah,
Just it's not an option for these guys. There's always got to be some excuse as
yeah.
to why it
I
didn't
think
stick the landing.
yeah, I think one thing they need, regardless of the creative team, they need to set it in the present day. What's really interesting is that only Bay's films do that. Like, it's set, in '07 when it was made, whereas from Bumblebee onwards, they've all been period pieces. Like, that's set in the 1980s, Rise of the Beasts is set in the 1990s, and Transformers 1 flashes back to the beginning of the war. And it sort of just takes you out a little bit. It's one of the reasons why I think Terminator Salvation didn't do well. Like, it's set in the future, whereas the original Terminators, I think what gives them a bit of energy is they're set, in our time, in the present day. for the majority of their story. I think one thing that would really help is if they get back to that. Like, fuck all this 80s and 90s shit. It's set in, 2027 when it's coming out,
I don't understand. What was there a specific point in time that kickstarted all this shit? Like we're setting it in the 90s. We're setting it in the what is that? Like when did that start becoming the norm? Like we're
Yeah.
talking about futuristic transforming aliens from a distant planet, and the first thing that crosses your mind as a director is we're going to set it in the 80s. We're going to set it in the 90s. Like fucking why?
Yeah, I don't think I think it's one of the reasons that's hurt the films that have followed. If they can lose that and get back to like a modern day version, I think it will play a lot better with general audiences. But we'll see how we go, I suppose. There was some good stuff in the later movies, but like I would like to sort of get the best of both worlds, have one that's critically acclaimed and commercially successful, because that could really set the brand up going forward long term.
I
Because
think
I
the
think
problem though is that like because there's been so many of these things now, is that you're gonna there's always gonna be someone that you piss off, like no matter what it is, like trying to get the bulk, like cast the net out as wide as you can. I don't know, man. I think those days are kind of done. Because like
yeah,
there's some
well
people out there that just want like there's some people out there that basically all they want is the '86 movie just redone in live action. Um,
yeah, well they'll probably get their wish, which is a bit sad. But I think but I think yeah, like Alan Moore said once, he was a big fan of The Sopranos, like the TV show, but he said, I hope it doesn't run longer than 3 seasons because I'm gonna lose interest in it, no matter how good it is. And I
mm,
think that's sort of true for everyone in a sense. The more films you have, the more the brand gets diluted, and the more people feel like they've had their fill. So you got 5 films from the first series, and the spin-offs are 1, 2, 3. Maybe people felt like they've had their fill after 8 films. Um, it could be, there could be something to that. Because I sort of feel, yeah, I do think to some extent people lose interest in things regardless of quality. It can be the best thing in the world and maintain such a high bar that eventually people want to move on to something else and watch something else or read something else.
yeah, 100%. And like we're not even talking about spin-offs, man. We're talking about like just numerical entries.
Yeah. Yeah, I see you got a comment about the G.I. Joe crossover. Yeah, I would like to see that in some sort of capacity. It's going to be, yeah, because that's heavily foreshadowed and planned and set up in Rise of the Beast um, towards the end. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how they're going to go, how to approach that.
I actually just on that, I actually really like the Chicago battle. In fact, my only complaint about it, like, because I thought Dark of the Moon was probably the best of the bunch. Like, I really enjoyed Dark of the Moon. The Chicago battle was awesome. My only complaint about it is that it just fucking ends. Like, I mean, I got up and went for a piss in the theater, and then I came back and sat down, and Optimus slices and dices Megatron, and then the credits roll. Like, all right, I guess. Like, there was quite a lot going on that hadn't quite been wrapped up, and then the movie just ends.
Yeah, and that's um, one of the criticisms of Michael Bay's films. He used a lot of sort of huge tenets of the IP and didn't really maximize value. Like he uses Shockwave, who is a fucking linchpin of the entire franchise, and he uses him in an ultimately inconsequential, small, minor role. And he sort of did that a few times with a few other characters as well. And you're thinking, dude, you don't piss away a chance at Shockwave to make him this random fucking nobody. Like you're gonna have Shockwave in a movie, you're gonna make it worthy of him. Um, so yeah, that's probably one of the criticisms that is leveled at um, sort of Bay's movies because he gets off pretty easily in that battle.
Shockwave. The other thing about Shockwave in Dark of the Moon, actually two things on it. One, what the hell was with the squid worm drill thing? Was that a part of him? Like, what was that? And the
Yeah, I believe it's
second,
like this chariot thing he rides. Yeah,
yeah, and the second thing was, does he even have a line of dialogue in the film? Like, I've had some people swear blind. He does speak in the movie. I'm like, I've got no idea when or what he's supposed to be saying. If that is true, does he speak?
I think he has one line from memory. Yeah, at the start at Chernobyl, but I could be wrong. He may just sort of scream and grunt.
And it was pretty cool to see the Michael Bay Optimus Prime with his trailer for the first time.
Yeah,
In the intro, like in the Chernobyl battle, he has the trailer.
yeah, I liked how they handled his evolution across. Yeah, all five. Yeah, by the time he gets to the third one, he's got the trailer, and then they modify his look slightly for the fourth and fifth films, where they bring in the sword and shield and make him a bit more
I wonder
sort of
why they
knightly.
did that. What was? Oh, I suppose because Game of Thrones was the fucking hugest, biggest thing at the time. So why not just channel a bit of that? Um,
Yeah, and they were sort of tying in the story with the legend of King Arthur and these sort of ancient knights of Cybertron and other things like that. But yeah, it's interesting to watch how his look evolved from the earlier films to the later films.
yeah, the GI Joe. You know, we had a bit of a chat about that um, a while back. Like, how are you going to make GI Joe click um, today? Because I think that's something that just without the time period of the 80s, it's pretty much a snack wrap. Maybe that's the way to go with it. Have it piggyback off another franchise. Because I think probably what's going to end up happening is it like Snake Eyes will just end up being a mainstay in Transformers movies. Because why not?
Yeah, well, I'd love to see him again, even though his film from a couple of years ago wasn't that good. Because yeah, he's a really cool character, but yeah, maybe ninjas have had their day. But
Well,
there's a ton of cool characters in that property. I'd love to see Zartan again in some form.
I do the James Gunn. Go for the ones that no one likes.
Yeah,
And just do a movie about those guys.
yeah, yeah. That's probably
Like
not a bad
like
take on it.
go for like yeah, go for like the Z list territory Joes.
Yeah,
Um, and see what you get out of that. Like I think that's probably like you know, and as crazy as that sounds, that's probably exactly what they need. Like, because it's like I mean, because if Snake Eyes on his own can't break even, like that's a fucking problem with that man.
yeah. It's not good. It's almost inverted. Like Transformers just swung for the fences and was successful and never looked back. And GI Joe, it's had two cracks at a big, or three cracks if you factor in the Snake Eyes movie, and they've stumbled out of the gate, if not outright flopped each time. So imagine, and Transformers fans, like imagine if it was the shoe was on the other foot, like in some parallel fucking universe where Eric Stoltz is Marty McFly, like GI Joe's had eight or nine movies, and Transformers flopped after one or two.
Yeah, I'm sure that, and like, and yeah, and like what's the bet? Like, Kerr Smith is Snake Eyes in that reality.
Yeah. I find it funny though that it's thriving like the classifieds toy line. They've produced over 130 figures. So they're thriving in the action figures, but they just can't seem to get it together in any other medium or form.
You
It's
know,
a strange one, that.
this is another one of those Reddit fucking echo chamber discussions, but like my feelings on Revenge of the Fallen, I actually thought it was pretty solid. Like I think the only Michael Bay film that I thought was a bit of a miss was Age of Extinction, and I can't remember. Like, I never saw The Last Night.
Yeah.
I might even check that out this weekend. I ever only saw Age of Extinction once, but the first three I think are is a pretty solid unit. Like I really liked Dark of the Moon. The first one, I mean, like you were saying before, like they won't dare utter a naughty word about the '07 movie. But for some reason, Revenge of the Fallen is the redheaded stepchild of the bunch. I don't think it was that bad. Like it was just more of the same as the other two movies, you know. Like I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I think it still retains a bit of charm to the first one. Because one thing I did notice about those movies, they get darker, sort of thematically and tonally as they progress. Like Dark of the Moon is a lot more serious, um, and has these sort of dark militaristic elements to it, um,
Yeah, like how it
apocalyptic
handles
elements.
Nest and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it gets
Yeah,
real hardcore like that. Yeah.
yeah. Whereas the second one still has that sort of charm, and they're like they've just sort of conquered the box office, and they're sort of still riding a bit of a high, and they weren't, and they just splurged. Like there's what 11 Transformers in the first film. There's like nearly 50, over 50 in the second one. So they just splurged, they just threw everything in.
Well, why the hell not? Because like you never
Yeah.
know which movie is going to be your swan song, right? Like when you're looking at franchises and stuff like that, like you really don't know when your last one, like when's your last movie. So I reckon every single time, it's like what Kev Smith said about writing, Superman Lives. When they After he spoke to Lorenzo Di Bonaventura for the first time and he sits down and starts putting pen to paper, fuck it, just write your dream movie. Whoever they hire to direct is going to take out what they don't like anyway. Um, so just go nuts, chuck it all in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, like you look at the rather limited cast at the first, but you're right though. Like you look at the roster of Autobots and Decepticons in the '07 movie, and then you look at the roster in Revenge of the Fallen, and fucking hell, man. Like what? It's like triple, I think.
Yeah. I always sort of felt in the back of my
Yeah, what was in the back of your mind?
I'm just like you can have a huge cast and you can introduce an influx of like a ton of new characters, but I thought they were getting themselves into a little bit of trouble when they're not even bothering to name them. Just these random cars here and there that are Autobots, and we're not even going to bother naming them.
Yeah, like skids in mudflat.
Yeah, or Jolt. I always remember Jolt. Like it's a
Drop
really cool
kick.
looking toy, but it yeah, he gets like 2 seconds of screen time.
And that's what really pisses me off, especially when Michael Bay makes like an original character that I think is pretty cool. Like, look at Dino, for example. Like, I know he's based on Mirage and all of that, but I actually quite like the identity of Dino. Dino was really cool in Dark of the Moon. He has like one cool moment, then that's it. I'm like, fuck, man, you had to tease me.
Yeah, he was yeah, really cool in that movie.
And like
And
again, like people will start bitching and complaining that he wasn't the Formula One car that Mirage is supposed to be. Well, they ended up doing that in that Rise of the Beast, and no one liked it.
yeah, and I think what helps Bay, because Bay like had a background in commercials, so he knows how to make cars look good.
Yeah,
Like the way him and his team can frame a shot and light a shot. They like the Transformers look cool in vehicle and robot mode. He's really good at that.
I actually really like that moment in the '07 movie when they're trying to find the glasses, and the five Autobots are crashed out in the backyard, and they need to hide, and they just all transform in their alternate modes, and it's like a fucking truck stop in the backyard. I like that shot of all of the Autobots on Earth at that point in time. just camped out in this kid's backyard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with John Turturro's character. Simmons.
Right.
I tell you,
Oh
one
yeah.
that sticks out to me is I am truly baffled that John Voight never came back in some form or fashion outside of the first movie.
Yeah, that was a bit strange. Yeah. Yeah, that is a bit of a weird one. And Sam's dad, I forget who plays him, but
Kevin Dunn.
yeah. Yeah, Mr. Whitwicky.
I actually like both of the parents in that. How like they're just totally like they seem a little bit stoned, like they're just
Yeah.
totally fucking lost at sea. I wonder though what really would have changed in Dark of the Moon had Megan Fox um, not have spouted off about Michael Bay had she have been in it. I don't think a whole lot would have changed.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Um, yeah. What's her name?
Michaela, I think, isn't
Yeah, Michaela.
it? Actually, it's about the link between brain damage and football. I love that line, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna get some crayons.
Yeah, it's got little colouring sections, pop out pictures, a lot of fun. Just hanging shit on that bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. And some of the things like, I remember like when people were talking about, like for example, some of the more raunchier jokes that are in the Transformers movie. I always like what Michael Bay said about that. I make movies for 14-year-olds. Dear, what a crime.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good back in the day. Very entertaining. Um, I think I rewatched Age of Extinction not too long ago, but yeah, it's I'd have to sort of um go back and watch the others. I haven't seen The Last Night in a long time as well. So yeah, I wonder if that's any good from memory.
Like the leg humping wheelie
Yeah.
from oh yeah, and the other one was see, because I think another actually, now that I'm starting to have some flashbacks of Revenge of the Fallen, I think one of the reasons why it sort of gets bagged the shit out of the way that it does is because of things like the take on Jetfire.
Yeah.
Like Jetfire is a bit of a fan favorite. Like my favorite version of Jetfire was always the one from Transformers Energon. But that take, I mean, like when people hear Jetfire is going to be in the movie, and then it's that World War II bomber, whatever jet, and it's walking around with a cane, and then it becomes a jetpack for Optimus. Like, yeah, I can kind of understand why people don't like Revenge of the Fallen. Like that was not really a good crack on Jetfire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably one they'd probably like their time over again because yeah, he's always been an interesting one in a sense that his backstory, as it is literal real world backstory, is also really interesting about how the he was a toy from the Macross line, which ended up becoming the Robotech property
Yeah, that's
for
right.
Western audiences. So yeah, the Jetfire and Skyfire and um, yeah, I found him. He never really did much for me as a kid, but
Because
yeah, I
he's
found
just another jet. Like that's, I mean, like when you've got the Seekers and the aerial bots and all of that, you kind of just think, again, it's more of the same territory for me.
yeah. But what's interesting is he predates the aerial bots. He sort of appeared towards the end of season one, I think. Um, but you hardly ever saw him after that because of the licensing and legal issues in and around him. Um, although I finally, because yeah, I found reading all that stuff really interesting. And in some comics produced in the world, he was the Autobot leader for a time as Jetfire. So yeah, but I'm glad he came out. He had a toy in the Siege line, and they threw
Oh shit.
pretty much everything in. It was a one-stop shop. It was a pretty amazing toy. You can have him in virtually any form you want. Um, he comes with his faceplate, so you can have the visor and the faceplate, or you can have him with his regular face, like in the cartoon. You can have his Macross mode. Um, yeah, it's an amazing toy. Yeah, for all the flack, Hasbro cops, deservedly so sometimes. When like occasionally they get this toy that just fucking knocks it out of the park, um, like they did with the Siege Jetfire.
Yeah, I actually quite like that. I mean, what was that fucking transformer with the nanobots from Revenge of the Fallen? What, it's Scalpel, wasn't it? Or Scalp or something weird
Oh yeah,
like that?
Scalpel. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a little telescope.
don't you have that?
I do, yeah. Cause yeah, he was one I bought back in the day. Yeah, yeah, I've still got him. He's sitting on a shelf somewhere.
Scalpel.
Yeah, he's the one who says kills a little one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because he's the one who Ravage vomits up down the pipe.
Yeah, he revives Megatron.
And I gotta be honest, man, I really like. I've got the figure of the Dark of the Moon Laserbeak floating around here somewhere.
Yeah,
That was one of the first things I bought. I really like that take on Laserbeak, like with that sort of organic feathers. And he has like the VTOL sort
yeah,
of alternate mode. Like it was a really cool take on Laserbeak. I
yeah.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's a very sinister version of the character. Yeah, I've got I do have the leader class Sentinel Prime from that movie, and I've also got the studio series um of that one. I just love Sentinel Prime's alternate mode in that, but you hardly ever see it. That Rosenbauer Panther airport fire truck. It's one of my bucket list things. I would love to see one in real life. Although I think the ship has sailed, because I think these days with modern legislation they're now uh, like a brightish yellowish greenish. They're not red anymore.
I wonder
That
why that is.
probably for safety regulations and visibility and things like that. But yeah, I've watched YouTube clips of them, like the company that makes them. I think they're made in Germany. Um, and yeah, this thing fucking slaps. It can maneuver like this huge ass vehicle
Huge
is
ass.
oh yeah, I had a blast trawling through Rosenbauer's entire fleet. They've got fire trucks and yeah, they've got the airport line, the 4x4 and the 6x6s. Yeah, and oh, they're just what an incredible engineering feat. Um, and I just thought it was an inspired sort of vehicle mode to have. Although I think for Bay's film they custom painted one of them. They're not actually that sort of darkish red as they were back then. That kind of maroonish that Sentinel Prime had. But yeah, I would love to see one in real life. I could watch YouTube clips, but it's just not the same.
Sentinel Prime. What was it that Michael Bay used to say about him? It's like, oh yeah, he's cool. Trust me, he's cool.
Yeah, well, it explains why Shockwave got arseholed, because yeah, you had to preserve the mystery.
Well, it kind
And,
of like, I mean, okay, like, look, if you're gonna do the, I mean, but does it though? Like from memory, I don't think Sentinel Prime and Shockwave even have a fucking scene. Um, Together. Like they just sort of just two guys doing bad shit. Like I don't think they were in cahoots with each other, were they? I don't know. Maybe they were. Who knows?
are you there?
Yeah. I'm here, man. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I just lost you for a second. Yeah, no, I think in terms of more of like Sentinel Prime as the sort of end game villain, whereas when Shockwave was announced as the villain, we thought he was going to be the big main bad.
Yeah.
So they kind of
It reminds me, like, the fact that Shockwave was marketed as the main villain for Dark of the Moon, and then that didn't happen, and then Sentinel Prime is made him to be the villain. It reminds me of that moment in Scary Movie. Everything reminds me of Scary Movie sooner or later. That whole, so you kill all your friends? Nah, just you. And there was Shorty, but that, like, wasn't planned or anything. But it's sort of like, I just want Sentinel Prime to say that. Yeah, like, there was Shockwave, but that, like, wasn't planned or anything.
Any last words? Run, bitch, run.
Yeah, and maybe Shorty, but that, like, wasn't planned or anything. Yeah, I mean, but like, could you have had like anyone else? Like, you probably could have even had Swindle in place of Shockwave, and you'd lose nothing. Like, did it have to be Shockwave?
Yeah.
Like, I've got a job for Shockwave. Yeah, he can be the fucking Muppet that no one... It's like, Shockwave got the Zant treatment. I love Zant from Zelda Twilight Princess, and he was shaping up to be a really cool villain. And then what happens? We get that cutscene at Arbiter's grounds that shows the sages executing Ganondorf. And from that very first fucking time you see Ganondorf in Twilight Princess, we all had that reaction going, fuck, man, Zant's not the villain. Ganondorf is in this game.
Yeah.
Like, the exact same thing here.
Yeah, I think a more sort of, yeah, I think a better take on Shockwave would be good. He's my vote for the next villain. I think I got two choices. And interestingly enough, I think Michael Bay has found the secret to that. Just bring him back and don't explain it.
Well, it's been Dark of the Moon's been 15 years, man. Like, that was 15 years ago. Like, just do it, man. Who cares? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, he's back as Shockwave, as a classic Shockwave that we all know and love, and we're not going to explain how. If they're gonna do a more proper Transformers one, use Shockwave as the main villain. But if they're going to continue the Beast era, I vote they go with Tarantulas. But yeah, it's really up in the air. In fact, the big upside that they've got is that there's a lot of upside. They that there's a lot of different ways now that everything's pretty much on the table with Beast Formers now in play. Yeah, there's really like they can take the story any direction they want.
Well, I reckon we should do a Rise of the Beast spin-off. We'll have a new villain called the Swarm, and they all transform into Ferraris. Like there's not a single insect amongst them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I hope that fetish stops soon. Like, yeah, let's do Waspinator in the next Michael Bay film, and it's like a green Porsche.
Yeah.
Like, he's a fucking wasp, man.
Yes.
Yeah, get a bit of that in you. I usually like to save the Magnum for this. Not that it seems to do a whole lot of good from time to time. Bullets only work, sweetheart, when you land a hit. Chris, use it! Kill it! You know who I reckon? If we're going to keep doing the Beast era, let's do Ramulus.
Yeah, very underrated character, very underrated toy.
I think that's like a Transmetal too.
Yeah, I think he was, yeah.
I'd like to see Optimus Minor get a bit more of a shout out, but I suppose, I mean, it's just a tiny Kong, right?
He's a chimpanzee or a little monkey.
And that was another Transmetal too.
Yeah.
What do you think about Call of Duty movie? How like what's going to make it different from any other war special ops movie? You know, like it's the same reason why people keep talking about, yeah, when are we going to get that Grand Theft Auto movie? What, you mean Fast and the Furious 19? Like, what's going to make it a Call of Duty movie? I don't get that. It's just going to be another war movie, isn't it? Like I don't think the games have got that sort of distinction to make a movie adaptation pop. I think that's the problem that has.
Yeah, I think Spielberg is gonna. I did read that article. Spielberg's in the picture somewhere. I think he's going to executive produce it. Call of Duty.
You know what? I'm starting to think that a little bit about Spielberg and Transformers because like they always attach him executive producer Steven Spielberg and all this kind of stuff, and I'm sitting here thinking, look, mate, maybe it's about time you shit or get off the pot. Are you going to direct one of these things or what? Um, because like we're almost 20 years removed from the first live action Transformers film. Like, what's the go, man? Are you gonna get in on this or what?
Well, a movie is inevitable. Um, the well, it just goes to show that just how huge the game industry is. I was reading Call of Duty has grossed over $30 billion. Now, to put that in perspective, the the two Avatar movies, probably the most successful series of more recent times, that's only grossed what 4 billion, 4 or 5 billion. I mean, that just goes to show how huge video games are. I think Black Ops 6 was like was one of the fastest games to get to $1 billion, something stupid like that. So a movie is inevitable. But in fact, I think I could have misremembered. Spielberg did express an interest in directing it, but I'd have to double check. But he's definitely in there somewhere, because it doesn't seem like the sort of thing DreamWorks would go in for. But I did see his name mentioned when it was announced they Paramount are like a keen to have a film adaptation.
Please tell me it's gonna be something like when you get like Sigourney Weaver's creative input on like Alien 3. Please tell me that the Call of Duty movie is going to be a bit like that. Now, it's going to be a COD movie based on the, stupidly successful, video game franchise. However, we got some mandates, and that is number one, no guns.
Yeah, well, I think
Like it's a
ironically,
fucking Call of Duty movie, man. Like,
yeah,
what do you mean no guns?
yeah,
Fucking
ironically, I think you're somewhat close to the truth. He wanted too much control, and Activision said no. I think from memory, you're right. They balked at some of the things he wanted to do. They're not going to have trouble finding a director for that.
yeah, like because that sort of talk just always pisses me off, man. Yeah, it'll do that. Yeah, no guns. Apparently, because I know Spielberg's really big on shit like that. Apparently, that's one of the reasons why that Jurassic Park survival game has been held up for as long as it has, because they want to like they wanted to go like the alien isolation way and incorporate things like that in firearms and like the like Muldoon's shotgun, the spaz, and all that kind of thing. But Spielberg was getting a bit, they didn't say his name, but a lot of that sort of shit does come from him. That yeah, there's to be no guns in the game, like, and you wonder why the games just aren't that fucking hot anymore, man.
Yeah, yeah, he could have also maybe been too expensive. Um,
No guns in the COD game. We're not allowed to show any
so
blood.
yeah, so I'm not really familiar with the single player campaign. What's the story? Is it an ongoing thing, or is it more just standalone each sort of one?
I don't know, man, because every single time I've picked one up, I've just played it for the multiplayer.
Yeah, okay.
Or if not, just play some zombies and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I guess the campaigns are all right. I didn't mind that one for Modern Warfare 3 back in 2011 when it was dabbling with World War 3. I thought that one was all right.
Yeah, okay.
I never played the first Modern Warfare from back in the day. I thought MW 2 was pretty good,
Yeah.
from 2009. And I did have Black Ops 1, but I don't think I ever finished the campaign on that one. Because like I mean, because they're seasonal holiday multiplayer games, right?
Yeah.
Like you pick them up, they're stocking stuffers and all that kind of thing, and a lot of kids that get their first gaming consoles around Christmas, Call of Duty is going to be one of those games.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
just
got the two. So you got Call of Duty and Black Ops. They're like two sub-series. Is that correct? Or
what it's all Call of Duty, and then you have like what. Like I mean, I really only pay attention to the Black Ops ones. I thought Black Ops
yeah,
6
okay.
was awesome.
Yeah.
But like you got like your modern warfares, you've got your Cold Wars,
Yeah,
um,
okay.
and that kind of thing. That
What
World at War was meant to be pretty good
what year did Black Ops 6 come out?
last year.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, was it
Wow.
last
So
year or
it's
the year before? I'm not too sure, but yeah, I thought
pretty
that one.
pretty recent.
Well, they just dropped Black Ops 7, but I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
I picked up Black Ops 6 back in the day. I picked that one up at launch, actually. I think that's the first time I picked up a COD game at launch since forever, and I really liked it. But then you get these criticisms going like, oh well, they didn't really push the boundary forward. Like, does it even fucking need to? Like, like, oh, the Call of Duty franchise, it's over. It has been. It's in its greatest hits era. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
you keep hearing this sort of thing. Like, the seasonal holiday games is how I've always seen them. Like, that's why they always drop in November. And it's just the shit that every kid's gonna sink their end of year school holidays into.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Black Ops 6 was 2024. Yeah, alright, well then yeah, last year. Wow, there you go then.
Yeah. And you said Black Ops 7 is out as well,
Like, that
or
came out
coming
like
out.
this week, didn't it?
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Black Ops 7. But yeah, I've got no real thing. Because the thing is, though, is that I just don't have that sort of, time to play. Like, I played through Black Ops 6, like, I prestiged in it once, and I wanted to sort of make it a regular thing, but I thought, oh, well, I bought it and I played out the prestige. I'm like, oh, that's all right. But I think the thing that really fucks those COD games, though, is the annual release. I mean, like, you could easily get 3 or 4 years out of a COD game before making the jump to
Yeah.
another one. I wish that they would do that. It's like these people that keep complaining about when's Grand Theft Auto 6 going to come out. And I'm sitting there thinking, the fact that Grand Theft Auto 5 had the stopping power that it did and the longevity that it did, because it came out 12 years ago, that's a good thing. The replay value of that was so insanely high that there's been no appetite to want to do another one. But people just keep asking for it, like why? Is it just so something comes out that has a new number on it? Like that's why I can keep it in my pants as far as GTA 6 goes. But the fact that 5 stuck around for as long as it, like, I wish a COD game would stick around for half that long. Um, like, more games need to do that. It's not a bad thing GTA 5 has been around for so long.
Yeah. So 12 years ago, was that 2013?
Yeah, 2013 was when that first came out, and that's a good thing though, man. You'll never convince me that it's not.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it's okay. Metin. Yesterday, Black Ops 7 came out. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, yesterday it came out. Oh, well, there you go then. Oh, well, technically I was right. I did say this week.
Yeah,
Uh,
this week.
the only reason I knew that it had come out recently is because on Streamlabs I've got a get a new overlay for Black Ops 7 advertisement. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm sure it'll be fun. I mean, because, like, it's just more of the same. Like, like, if you love COD games, you're gonna like this one. I love those sort of reviewers that sit down and start talking about that kind of shit. Like, it'll be like, oh, well, if the last few were a bit of a miss, and if you like this one from like 20 years ago, oh, well, then you're probably gonna like this one. It's all Call of Duty. Like it's all the same.
Yeah.
A large big team multiplayer deathmatch. It does what's written on the box. You play with some mates. It's great when you have a crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, GTA 6 got delayed again. Yeah. It's just, but like, it's just that's my point. Like, is there any rush at all to want to do it when clearly, like, five is still generating for them? Like, why would you do it? They made more
Well,
people.
I'm finding the rush to even issue release dates really puzzling. And every kind of industry and medium does this. Or like you look at, Lucasfilm with Star Wars. Why do they announce release dates? Why not make sure firm, concrete plans are in place and things are moving, and then announce it?
Like, something to actually show for it,
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
don't
something that really, like, oh man, like, that is something that just fucked me off with Universal. Like, when they dropped that trailer for Jurassic Park Survival, no release date, no nothing on it. Like, just it was basically just a CGI trailer, is what it was. However, someone did point out, because there was that fan game, Jurassic Park Operations, that was getting a fair bit of buzz. The reason why they prematurely dropped the trailer when they did and had nothing to show for it was because they just issued that cease and desist. Um, so they kind of needed to get something out there. And I'm like,
yeah,
if that was honestly the fucking reason, that was a pretty dumb fucking reason uh,
yeah,
to do that. Like, I mean, like, and like, because it was being made in that PlayStation Sony Dreams or whatever it was. And I'm
yeah.
sitting there
Okay.
thinking, I'm like, yeah, but people, like, what sort of attraction is that really gonna have with people? Because, like, Dreams isn't even supported anymore. I don't think they had anything to fucking worry about. But this, yeah, and like, I've seen some people say, oh, well, because I went on a bit of a mini rant that there was still no release date for this thing, and I'm like, this thing is never coming. This Jurassic Park Survival. It's not the first time they've tried to make a game like this, because they tried to do it back in 2001. And it didn't happen. It was meant to happen with JP3, and it just died in the ass and fell apart. I'm fairly certain that this is gonna go the same way. Especially if we're no guns, no killing dinosaurs, none of this shit. Well, then what's the fucking point? Like, in doing this shit. um, like, so anyway, people were giving me a bit of flack because they released that behind the scenes thing and they showed off a few new things. New, I'll put in air quotes there, because fuck, this shit probably existed back when they released the trailer in 2023 or whenever it was. Like, I don't know, I don't really know how new a lot of that stuff is. But the needle hadn't moved at all. Like, that wasn't even an update. Like, still no date, still no, oh, we're aiming for this. Like, no, nothing. Like, it was literally just fluff, is what it was. Um, yeah, and one of the comments that I saw was, we've got to stop announcing shit 5 years in advance.
Yeah,
Because it's already pissed everyone off.
yeah. That would certainly help. Or announce a shipping date when it's actually ready to ship.
Yeah. I always sort of, after the debacle with Cyberpunk 2077, when they were spruiking, oh yeah, this game's going to be perfect, no day one patch, it's going to be mint, it's going to be this, that, and the other, and it was a fucking mess when it came out. I never bothered playing it. Um, all I said to people was, yeah, I heard it had a pretty rocky start when it launched, and then I would get all these excuses as to why it was so shit. I'm like, look, I don't care why it happened. The thing is, why was the guy spruiking that it was going to be this flawless masterpiece at launch? Like, I wouldn't be saying shit like that. Like, things go wrong all the time. Like, why are they talking like that?
Yeah. It, and those days are over. The idea that, you know, It's like it's just regular practice now. Games are broken at launch.
I agree with what Metten just said there. The problem is they should have said, they should never have said May 26th. They should have just said 2026.
Yeah,
Yes, they should have. Because at least then, because that's the peace of mind knowing for people who are waiting for it, something's going to happen in that year. That's cool. That's fine. When you're giving them specific release dates like that, yeah, I probably wouldn't be doing that either.
yeah,
Like just a year, and like JP Survival hasn't even had that. Like I think on Steam, it still just says TBA. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean to be announced? The game has been announced. There's just no release date.
yeah,
Like, I mean, yeah, TBA, undecided. Like, what do you mean undecided? Um, but you know what? But then we're gonna hear all the fucking the buzzwords and the catchphrases. Oh, they're taking their time with it. I don't mind them delaying the game because then that means more polish. How often do they say that and the game is still a fucking mess when it comes out? Like, look at those Assassin's Creed games. Like, I hear nothing but massive problems with those whenever they come out. Um, it
yeah.
does.
And I also felt the same with the Resistance games back in the day. I think Resistance 3 had the longest development time. They had a whole extra year, but I found that one the most clunky, believe it or not. So
It's like the updates and all of that. Like I don't think any Call of Duty game really hits its stride till like 8 months after release. And by
yeah,
then the next game's coming out. Because by then a lot of the real buggy shit is well and truly over.
yeah,
But yeah, good Christ, man. Like this whole and since when did game development become this? Like why are we interviewing developers like they're fucking movie stars? Like when did all that start happening?
yeah. Well,
Like
yeah. The figures don't lie. It's a huge industry now. So
yeah, it is, but
um,
why would I care that Shazza met Bazza at Ubisoft? It's just weird. Like when did everyone start talking like that?
yeah. Well, I mean, celebrity culture's been warped by the internet and social media and all that. So these days,
Yeah, the Transformers. As far as Transformers games go, I tell you, I really enjoyed that Fall of Cybertron. But there's a problem here. I never played Devastation. I heard Devastation was pretty good, but it's again like that trend of it's more of the same. Like it's just a G1 video game, isn't it? That Devastation. It's hardcore G1. I really like that Fall of Cybertron game. From that, what are they called? That New Moon Studios or whatever it was. I thought that was really good. And that War for Cybertron, the first one, was really cool as well. Then, for some unknown fucking reason, the third Cybertron game, when it was coming out, they fused it as a tie-in video game for Age of Extinction, and they called it Rise of the Darkspark. Like, why do that?
yeah, I remember that.
Like, and that game was dog shit. I really did not like Rise of the Darkspark because, again, they forfeited the art style that they already created to adopt the Michael Bay stuff. And like, I know I was just saying, like, what about an hour ago that the Michael Bay look was great and all of that. Yes, it was great because we'd never seen a live action movie before, but now we've just sacrificed a whole fresh take of the video games to be a tie-in for the movie. Like, why? Why do that? That
Yeah,
that just pissed me off, and there hasn't been a decent Transformers game since then.
yeah. I'm really fascinated with the whole sort of concept of tie-in, like of any media really, to the main product. A kind of a loose hobby of mine is to collect tie-in novels for films. I own a fair few of them now. In fact, just today, this afternoon, a copy of the tie-in novel, the novelization, if you will, of End of Days with Arnie Schwarzenegger arrived.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
I should be able to breeze through that. But yeah, like tie-in video games and yeah, tie-in comic books and because some of them do break out and become kind of fairly well received. I always sort of kept missing the boat, but there was some games attached to the Riddick Pitch Black movies. There was one called Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay, and there was one called Assault on
Yeah.
excuse me, Assault on Dark Athena.
Yeah. Okay.
And um I never owned an Xbox when Butcher Bay came out, but I had a PS3 when Dark Athena came out, and I Christ, um, I played it briefly, but my PS3 was running out of Steam. But I missed the boat there. But I definitely, yeah, the yeah, those games were really good. There was a really cool moment, like really true to the character, where the major villain of Assault on Dark Athena is a woman, and she realizes she's missing her her necklace. It's because like Riddick can see in the dark, and the game can translate that. You can do it as well. Like the balls on this guy, he reached down in pitch black and took it from her, and it cuts to a scene where Riddick just has it dangling in his hand. Oh my God, it was so cool. Very atmospheric and creepy. I loved it. Like what balls to do that to the main villain? You'll have to fight in an hour or two.
Yeah, the tie-in video games.
Yeah.
They
Well, I think the key to it is yeah, maybe set something before or after. Maybe not a literal adaptation, but some of them actually end up doing better than the film. Again, the late Greg Hatcher was a big fan of the novelization of Battleship from 2012. The novel Peter David wrote the novelization, and he reckons it's better than the movie by a country mile.
Okay, I reckon we need to sell the cinematic rights to the board game Risk.
Yeah,
However, we're going to have some mandates, and that is no killing.
yeah. I'd yeah, it's an interesting
Eh.
idea. How do you adapt a board game? Because I've read I think Ridley Scott's company are trying to get an adaptation of Monopoly off the ground. There's a new Cluedo
Oh,
in the works.
so basically a Disney documentary
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
is
Yeah.
is what that is. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna do Monopoly the movie, or we're gonna just
yeah.
make a
It's
Disney documentary.
yeah, just d yeah, Disney's life under Iger's stewardship. Like that's pretty much the live action Monopoly. Um,
Like it's just fucking all there. Yeah, and actually call it that. Call it like Monopoly, the ride of a lifetime.
yeah, yeah, the ride of a lifetime.
Um, yeah, all right. That's. I wonder how often that actually happens. Cinematic adaptations of board games.
Yeah, they must be fiendishly difficult to do. But yeah, I was reading there's a new Cluedo in the works. Yeah, there's the Monopoly that I think Ridley Scott's company is trying to develop. Yeah, you had Battleship from, well, it was a while ago now, 10 or so years. Um, yeah, it must be tricky to sort of adapt that with a meaningful story.
Yeah, like what's one that I would do? I mean, Connect Four, the movie.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, but like it's interesting though, isn't it? I mean, like we're going full steam ahead with the Legend of Zelda movie and stuff like that. So
Yeah, yeah, that's coming. So is a sequel to the Mario Brothers movie from a few years ago.
see, but like it's similar to what we were saying about like the more Transformers is lent into G1, like the more underperforming that it actually did. When I have a look, like when I look at the 2023 Super Mario Brothers movie, I just sit there and think, like, and awesome for people that do enjoy it and all of that. Like, I'm sure there's some good things in there. Like, I just look at it and go, why don't we just go and play the game? Like, it looks just like a fucking game. Like, let's just go and play a Mario game. Like,
Yeah,
like it's you see what I mean? Like, okay, so it's a 90-minute long video game cutscene is is what it is. Like, I don't see the appeal in that.
yeah, it's an interesting one. it's kind of like how I feel about you sort of don't want to be reminding your audience of something better they could be doing. It's like with these remakes that constantly throw Easter eggs or nostalgia bait for these classic movies. Like I read a good comment the other day. Never remind the audience of a better movie they could be watching. Um, so that's probably true about video game adaptations, yeah, because playing the game is probably way more fun. Like never remind the audience of something better they could be doing with their
I
time.
was watching these two dickheads argue over what was the better movie, what was the better sequel, Jurassic Park 3 or The Lost World. And they were going back and forth, and one of these other guys just kept talking about the original movie, but the conversation isn't about the original movie. Well, why the fuck aren't we talking about that one? like uh, yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it? Like when I look at that, it looks like a video game, it sounds like a video game, like everything about it is just video game, video game, video game. Why aren't we just playing a Mario game?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what, because, like I remember one of the criticisms that a lot of these Zelda fan films kept getting, and there's no doubt in my mind the official Legend of Zelda movie is going to get it as well. And that is, it's like watching one of your friends who's a noob play Zelda for the first time. Um, yes, I think even the official movie is going to have that problem. Um, and I don't think there's any way around that because they're going to be more interested in aiming to people who've never played the game before, and rightly so. But that's just a byproduct of that stance that I don't think there's any real way to overcome. It's going to be like watching someone who's played it for the first time try to figure out what the hell is going on. Um, like every single one of these fan productions always had that, and I'll bet $1,000 on it that the official one is going to do that as well.
Yeah. So what are the ones that have bucked the trend? So Mortal Kombat 1 from 95, that one holds up. I'm told the 2016 World of Warcraft film,
Yeah, okay.
bad. I'm not familiar with that series, and I've never seen that film, but that holds up from what I'm told. And I'm told the more recent Dungeons and Dragons game or movie, sorry, from was it 2021 or 2022?
Might have been two, I
That
think. Yeah.
was sort of yeah, and then that's another one. I'm not familiar with that series. I've only ever watched the cartoon when I was a kid. Um, but yeah, the film adaptation of that was pretty well received as well. So yeah, it's a funny one. Like these just two different mediums.
I need to throw.
And yeah, the sort of
I need to throw this one out there as well. But a lot of people will say the best video game tie-in ever was GoldenEye. I think people need to really pull their head out of their ass and evaluate that a bit more before they say that because that didn't even come out the same fucking year as the movie. It came out 2 years after that movie. Like the
yeah,
64 game came out in 97, the movie was 95, and in 97, what else happened? Tomorrow Never Dies came out. So for
yeah.
people to
Calling it
say
a
that that's a
tie-in is
good
a
tie,
stretch.
I'm like, it's not a tie-in. It came out 2 years after with another fucking Bond film. Um, and the other thing on that is that I would argue that the movie ties into the game more than the game ties into the movie. Like, if it wasn't for that game, would anyone give a shit about GoldenEye?
Yeah, I think the film rights holders owe a lot to that game because I think it introduced a whole new audience to James Bond. Like the impact and legacy of that game and what it did for Bond going forward cannot be like he got a whole new generation of fans pretty much overnight. Heading into the mid 90s, like Bond, like he could have fizzled out. The Timothy Dalton ones, although were critically acclaimed and they did all right, they sort of didn't position the character where they wanted. Pierce was in the picture for many years, but they went with Timothy Dalton. Um, so Pierce finally got his chance, and um, yeah, I sometimes wonder what would have happened if that. Like I can say, I wouldn't have been a Bond fan without that game. Um,
Nah, I think I'm about the same.
that's because I did see GoldenEye when it came out, even though I was pretty young at the time. I did watch it when it was released on video, and it didn't blow me away. Like it wasn't like, oh shit, where have you been all my life? And I had seen maybe one or two Bonds before then, but the game made me a hardcore Bond fan. Um, and I was sort of in my sort of early teens when it came out, and it's sort of pretty impressionable. Um, and there was probably millions of people like me who, yeah, discovered who had heard of the character, but truly sort of fell in love with the character and became a fan of the character and the whole series from that game. Because from that game onwards, I went back and rewatched GoldenEye and enjoyed it a lot more because it was fun to pick out just how hopelessly devoted the game makers were to that film. It's like their Bible, every set was recreated in almost painstaking detail. Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies. I saw The World Is Not Enough. I pretty much saw everyone from that one on in the cinemas. The only one I missed was the COVID one, but I've been a fan, and I missed Skyfall because I was crook at the time. Um, but yeah, I own like many books about Bond. I've got the DVDs. It made me playing the game and being a huge fan of the game made me go back and revisit, Thunderball and The Man with the Golden Gun and the Sean Connery one. So
You only move twice.
yeah, yeah, that's right. So yeah, if it wasn't for that game, I can unequivocally say I wouldn't be a fan of Bond. And I dare say I'm not the only one. I think the Broccoli's owe a lot to Rare and what that game did
See, it's
because it
just that
revitalized
like that's
the brand.
it's just that that's my point. Like for the game that is often heralded as the best movie tie-in video game of all time, it's really not a tie-in at all. Like that's what
No,
always annoys me when people say that. Like they'll only remember GoldenEye when it's convenient. After they're done ripping the shit out of every other adaptation, they'll mention GoldenEye as the best video game adaptation of any film. Full stop. Best movie tie-in, whatever have you. And it's simply just not true. Like
yeah, no,
it
like you said, the time delay. Yeah, it came out in '97, whereas the film was '95. I can't remember if it ran over time, if it was meant to coincide, you know, either 6 months before or after. I can't remember if it fell behind or whatever, but yeah, to say that it was all this sort of coordinated release and it was designed
bullshit.
to. No, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But memory works like that. 30 years later, people, if I wasn't such a huge fan of the game, like if you had told me that GoldenEye the game came out with GoldenEye the film, I'd go, yeah, like why wouldn't it, right?
It's yeah, that always bugs the shit out of me. It's like the classic. I mean, ever since 2008, Avengers Doomsday was always the end goal.
Yeah,
Um, no, I don't really think so. That, yeah, it's just that it gets me a little bit like that. Like I think more tie-ins are a lot more playable than what people give them credit for. But pretty much since the dawn of time, not just happening in a digital era, a lot of like critiques and that kind of stuff. I mean, it's either the greatest thing on the planet or it's the shittest thing that they ever invented. Like, there's no in between. Um,
yeah.
like, there's no
There
in
is a
between whatsoever.
documentary. Yeah, there is a documentary called Golden Era that I'm about half an hour into. I've been a bit sidetracked. That sort of charts how the game was made and the reception it got and the legacy it left behind. Um, yeah, I'll have to find time to finish watching it.
Yeah, I like. I mean, when I hear things like that, you know, Oh yeah, we're gonna do a documentary on Street Fighter 2. Oh, we're gonna do one on GoldenEye. Oh yeah, we might do one on like Ocarina of Time and all of that. And then you sit back and then you think, okay, I mean, a lot of these things are turning 30 years old. Like in Street Fighter's case, it's closer to 40 years old. Um, you sit back and then you start to think, what hasn't really been said about something that's almost middle aged by our lifetime. I mean, like in another 5 years, Street Fighter Two will be celebrating its 40th anniversary. Um, like what hasn't been said in 40 years that you can commit to film. Um, it's just something that I think about all the time. Like, oh yeah, well we just did one on like GoldenEye, and like, oh yeah, no, we just did one on Street Fighter Two, or yeah, we just did one on Ocarina of Time. What hasn't been said? Like, what stone hasn't been unturned in the last 40 years?
Yeah. Well, I just think
Maybe I'm the Grinch that stole Christmas. Like, if it's a bunch of people who are on a nostalgia trip and they want to get together and do something for something that I mean, like, hey, fair enough, that's cool. But the whole, yeah, it was like, it was right time, right place, right station, bang, 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 everyone knew what they were doing. No, they fell ass backwards into success. That's what happened.
yeah. Um, but I think as well, the games you just mentioned are all phenomenal made games.
Yeah, they are,
Like
yeah.
they're not shit games that are popular. Like the game mechanics of all those games you mentioned are pretty much the best in their genre. Um, and I think games do have a sort of longer shelf life in some respects because they're not played by humans, so they don't really age per se. um, but yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't sort of get tired thinking about Street Fighter. I still am sort of excited about the future of that. Because yeah, they are games. They don't, even though it has been 40 years, the characters don't sort of age the way um, the rest of the world does, and I'm really looking forward to the 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 next crack at the movie because the casting is just phenomenal. Like in my opinion, Andrew KG is Ryu. Like he is him. Like he was born to play this role. They could not. Capcom and Sony just must have kissed their own ass to God that, that he was born. He is Ryu. It's I cannot put it any simpler than that. Um, and yeah, I Warrior was a phenomenal show, and I'm just so I'm really glad that a lot of those actors um have found other projects. That Joe is a Joe Tappan, who's a phenomenal martial artist as well. He's the Mortal Kombat side of the fence snapped him up. He's Sub-Zero in the new movies. But I dare say if like most of that cast have been mopped up by these martial arts video games movies. The one I forget the actor's name. He plays Leary in Warrior, and I think he was the Small John Umber in Game of Thrones. I wish he had gotten a role in Street Fighter, maybe a Zangief or something, because he's just got this tremendous upper body strength. It's one of the reasons I think this movie will do well, because what Warrior did well was really showcasing the uniqueness of every fighter. Like Assam, who Andrew Kiji played, like it like kicks and flips and is very agile, and Leary is like a stock bullfighter, just this tremendous upper body strength. He's just a fucking brick wall. And if he's slower, but if he gets a hold of you, it's lights out. So yeah, I think and then that's what Street Fighter games do well. They show off the uniqueness. Some are quicker than others, but their attacks are generally stronger than the quicker ones. So it all sort of balances and marries out and syncs up. It's really cool.
So what do I reckon? Okay, I got a few mandates for the Street Fighter movie, right? Number one is no fighting.
They can't be in their costumes.
Yeah, they're not allowed to be in their costumes. Yeah, like, but there was a time when that was the norm.
Yeah. All right. I want three things.
Well, I was a lot like that with the Halo movie before we got that Paramount series, which I still haven't seen. Um, I was like that all the time when the Halo movie was in talks. I'm like, okay, well, I want Jason Statham as the Master Chief, unmasked for the entire movie after the prologue. I reckon Megan Fox as Cortana.
Yeah.
Like, and none of the weapons from the games are allowed to be in the movie. And no aliens, no Covenant. We,
Yeah.
we, we gotta fight people from Carbombia.
Oh, I love it.
Something like that. Like, like these were always the mandates that people would make. And the reason why I said Jason Statham as the Master Chief unmasked for the entire movie after the prologue was that's my little nod to the 1995 Judge Dredd. Because that did the exact same fucking thing with Stallone. Like, he's in the full-on Dredd ensemble for the intro, and then he's totally unmasked. Like, the helmet never goes on again.
Yeah.
For the rest of that movie. And I thought, if I was directing the Halo movie, I would do the exact same thing to the Master Chief. Unmasked for the entire movie after the first 10 minutes.
Oh, I love it.
And just leave them like that. But yeah, nah. So it was great to have finished Resident Evil tonight.
Did you finish it, did you?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm just sort of sitting on the once again menu at the moment while we were having a bit of a chat. I was thinking about because I have said on a couple of the streams now that I was going to go back and try and finish that advanced mode, hard mode playthrough on the director's cut. I think though what I might have to end up doing is starting it again and just go through the advanced mode on normal. But we'll see how we go. I might fire it up tomorrow night and have a bit of a muck around with it and see, because I still think it's beatable. I just don't think I don't think we've soft locked ourselves. I think we can get through it. We're just going to have to change how we're playing this. I think we got to play smarter and not harder, because straight up fights with the hunters that are in the mansion is not going to work out, because I've gone over that a number of different ways and we're not going to win the game by doing that. So we'll see how it goes. I'll trial out a few more things with the director's cut. If it doesn't work, we'll just blow the thing away and we'll do it again. On normal mode, and we should be able to smash that out in about 2 or 3 days. But I do want to finish that, because I hate leaving shit undone like that. It's like these creatives, unfinished project, unfinished project, unfinished project. Hey guys, idea for upcoming project. Just pisses me off. Like when we start playing a game on these streams, I very much want to finish that game. I don't want to sort of just leave it in the background, and it's just going to annoy the fuck out of me if I don't beat it. Actually, I don't watch any streaming services, to be honest with you. I just sort of find my sources, and if it sounds alright, I'll give it a shot. But there's quite a few other series that I need to get around to watching again. I'll have to check out Deadpool though. And give that the watch, and we'll see how all that goes. But I think as far as I really do want to finish that director's cut, and then after that, I'm really not too sure where we go after that, because that'll be quite a lot of Resident Evil. But like I said, there's a few other retro games that I want to play. I would like to do a 100% run of Donkey Kong 64. Maybe not a 100% run, because that's quite the job, but I'd like to do that. I would like to do Ocarina of Time again, and 100% that one proper, because I've clocked that a few times. I'd like to go through that again, because 100%ing a Zelda game is always sort of, it's good, pat yourself on the back for doing it, and they're not too overly demanding with what you got to do. So I think those ones are nice and breezy. So we'll see how that all goes, and we'll find out what's coming after that. But yeah, first things first, I need to flush the turd that is the advanced mode, and then we'll see where that goes. What about you, Champ? What do you got lined up for the weekend?
Oh, I'll just probably get some rest. I'll try and shake this cough,
Yeah,
which has been dogging me. for the last week or so. Yeah, I'll have to yeah, I've got a couple of Clint Eastwood westerns I'd like to revisit. Hearing Metallica play Unforgiven the other night, it inspired me to dust off the Clint Eastwood Unforgiven off the shelf. Not that those two things have anything to do with each other apart from the name, but
Yeah,
um,
she just wants a piece of my dirty Harry. Look, if we're gonna start naming each other's cocks after Clint Eastwood movies, his would be called The Unforgiven.
yeah, yeah, it's a great film. I remember liking it back in the day. But I also got a copy of High Plains Drifter and Pale Rider as well yesterday. It's just a matter of finding time. It's just things are
Is Pale
mental.
Rider? I think I asked the old boy about this once. Is Pale Rider like that's death, right?
Yeah, because well, he had this streak where it's the film doesn't make too fine a point on it, but yeah, that and High Plains Drifter, there's almost like a supernatural element to it. He
Yeah,
yeah, he just sort of drifts into town and yeah, there's something kind of spiritual going on there, but the film doesn't really explain it, which is kind of effective. It's more noticeable, I think, in High Plains Drifter. But having said that, though, I have not seen Pale Rider in probably 20 years, so it's probably just as noticeable in that. Um, but yeah, it is an allusion to the biblical reference, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, those first two, but I've also Hang 'em High is a good one as well. But yeah, I'll start with those two or three, and I'll see if I can sort of find some common threads. I'd love to sit down and watch some more. I because they always did a good job of giving them the royal treatment. It's not an Eastwood one, but Once Upon a Time in the West with Henry Fonda and Charles Bronson. Just a um terrific DVD set. Where it walks you through all the ins and outs of yeah, the production Sergio Leone film. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I don't yeah, but I'll start with some Clint Eastwood ones and go from there.
No, that sounds alright. I'm always on the lookout for more creepy, eerie shit like that.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, no, it's looking to be a good one because I think this is the first Friday sort of yarn we've had in a while. So
yeah. Things have been mental the last month or so, but
yeah, that's
yeah, it's
sort of
good to
why
have.
I was a bit will I stream again soon? I'm looking to get another one off the ground tomorrow because I'll dip back into the advanced mode and see how it goes. Because I really do want to finish that one, and then we might press pause before we do any more Resident Evil, and we'll start playing some other stuff and sort of break it up. But yeah, it's just been fucking full on. I mean, from go to woe. I mean, it's end of the year. Usually, when things start winding down, is when things start happening.
Yeah,
um,
it's yeah. There's things yeah technically should be getting easier, but as the year winds down, but that is not the case so far. It's fucking mental.
it's like what Sam Neill says. Like what he when he was spruiking on Rove Live when he was doing the press for Jurassic Park 3. So what do you do to unwind in your free time there, Sam? And he's like, I try not to unwind. I think relaxation is extremely overrated. I try to stay wound up constantly at all times. Tension is the source of creativity, I think.
I love it.
And that I think is the takeaway of tonight. Relaxation, don't bother with it. No such thing. You got to stay constantly on like on nerve wracking all the time. That's
Yeah,
where the real magic happens. But no,
yeah, that's right.
I think tonight we did pretty good. So yeah, we'll have to kick off another stream soon and dive back into it.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. All right, I'll have a good rest of your night. I'll catch you soon, eh?
Yeah, no worries, mate. Take it easy, get better, and yep, same time, same station.
Yeah, will do. Bye for now.
Ta-da, mate.